So welcome everyone for the hackathon presentations. So we had a hackathon running from November 22nd to 26th, and there's some really cool projects that I've seen in both the channel and the GitHub repository. So excited to see what you guys are going to be showing off. I'm going to go through a couple of slides just for some hackathon like logistics. So I'll share my screen. So first of all, make sure that you submit your hackathon project into a GitHub repository named Mattermost Hackathon November 2019. This will be used just to gather all of the submissions and then send thank yous and recognition as well. If you worked as a team, make sure to include all of your team members' names in the submission as well, so we know all of the people who worked on it. Then in terms of thank yous, so anyone from the community who participated and submitted the hackathon project in the repository will get a swag bag. So this includes a hackathon t-shirt, a Mattermost branded high-end wireless charger, pair of socks, and some stickers. And then those in the core staff will also get a thank you participation gift as well. And then just for the presentations themselves, so it's intended to be for 2 hours, but there's a third hour for extra time if needed. Please plan on a 2 to 3 minute presentation. After 3 minutes, I am gonna pause you because we wanna make sure that everyone has time to present their hackathon. And there's also some hackathons that I'll be presenting for those who couldn't attend the meeting today. Now, there's a few people or teams who signed up for more than one project. So if you're presenting multiple projects, you'll have 5 minutes total to present them. If you want to share longer demonstrations, you can share that in the channel or in a hackathon submission as well. And then in terms of the presentation order, so there isn't a preset order for presentations. Basically, what we'll do is when you're ready to go, you can raise a hand in Zoom or post in the Zoom chat. Or alternatively, you can also message in Mattermost and I'll pick you up. So without further ado, I already see some people want to go, so I'm gonna stop my share and get started. Let's see, Jesse, do you wanna go first?
Alrighty, here, let me just share my screen. Make sure I'm on the right one. All right, can you see the Mattermost plugin API here?
We can see a toolkit board, yeah.
Oh, sorry, let me try that again. Too many desktops. How about that?
Now we see it.
That works? Okay. So there's no UI here. There's no awesome plugin or experience to add here, but there was a number of us who wanted to work on re-envisioning how the Mattermost plugin API could work. So just shout out to Ben and Shota and Ilker for lots of discussions, lots of driving discussions over the weekend and on Friday and whatnot. This is not finished, but we are totally planning on continuing this effort as part of the toolkit. Quarterly sprint planning and whatnot going forward. But basically what we had a couple of objectives in mind were right now there's a really strong pain point for a lot of plugin authors who use our API, and that we sometimes return a model.app error instead of an error interface. And this often trips up folks who end up just, you know, if you haven't run into that and go with an error interface and a concrete type and accidentally checking for no values and getting unexpected results, that is eliminated. We didn't really like how the API also kind of just was a big flat interface and it was hard to find things. So we wanted to organize everything into what we call services. So they're grouped by kind of the domain that you'd be interacting with it. We got rid of some custom types just to converge on more idiomatic naming for how you structure types in Go. And then we tried to also converge on exactly sort of a similar set of API methods. So get, list, create, update, delete, instead of having a bunch of different names. And although this effort's not finished, we also went for sort of an optional or a functional pattern for how to pass additional parameters to a function. So there's There's parameters we pass to that are required, and then optional parameters. The best part about all of this is it's completely backwards compatible. There are no breaking RPC changes. This is a layer built on top of the RPC. So what we've basically done is all the ugliness that's underneath the cover, we've just abstracted it out for you so that there's an opportunity to write plugins using a cleaner interface. So you can sort of see the Go doc for this. I've linked to it in the hackathon submission. I won't go into detail, and we'll be continuing to iterate on this going forward. And that's the hackathon demo for today.
Awesome. Thank you, Jesse. And next we have, I think, Joram.
Cool. Yeah, let me just share my screen here. Okay, so I didn't have a ton of time to work on my hackathon project because I was at KubeCon last week and I was flying back on Friday, and then I had to do a whole bunch of catch up today, and yesterday. But I did a whole bunch of code writing on the plane, which actually worked out pretty well. So what I went and built I went and built a to-do plugin. So one of the things I always do is I always tell people like, hey, yeah, sure, I'll get to that tomorrow or the next day or whatever. And then I proceed to flag the post and forget about it because I never look at my flag posts and I don't get reminded about it. So what I wanted to do is come up with a plugin that would help me not miss those things and keep myself on track a little bit better. So what I did was I made a little to-do plugin. So the way it works is there's a couple different ways you can interact with it. Just like we have our existing post drop-down menu, there's another new button here that you can click Add to Do, and this includes the post message and kind of a bit of an explanation of what the plugin does at the bottom, and then you can edit this. So I need to do a thing, and then I can just click that, and then it's added to my to-do list. So next tomorrow when I log on to Mattermost, this to-do bot here is actually going to send me a daily reminder. It's going to look something like this, and it'll basically tell me like, hey, these are the things on your to-do list. Make sure you go do them, which is going to be helpful. But the other nice piece of this is you can also, in the channel header here at the top, you can see this new button. So now you can click that, and you can actually see all your to-do items in the sidebar. You can click to add a new one here if you want to. And then you can also see what you have to do when it was created. Then you can, when you're done, you can just like click them off here. And then there's also some slash commands where you can do slash to do add, do something. That'll add it there. And you can do slash to do pop, and that'll pop off the top one. That kind of thing. So pretty simple, but I'm hoping we can get it on community so we can start bugging me about things I'm not going to forget to do anymore.
Pretty cool.
That's awesome. Thank you, Joram. And next we have Ellie.
Okay. So I've made two plugins. First one is the most important one. What it does, it adds a face that follows you around while you work in Mattermost. It also has a different mode with the cats, because obviously cats. Anyway, this is a joke plugin. I thought it might be cute. Additionally, I worked on a plugin called Silencer. What it allows is when somebody annoys you and you want them to be quiet a little bit in the channel, you can silence them, /silencer, username, and the user's posts disappear. This is client-side filtering, meaning the messages don't really disappear and they're still on the server. But if there's somebody annoying, you can quiet them down. Yeah, that's my demo.
Very cool. Awesome. Thank you, Ellie. And next, just one moment. Next, we have Ellie.
All right, let me share my screen. So I wanted to write something, something really meaningful, something fun as well. So one of my secret projects was to come up with this system, a way to, to solve these complex problems of the world. And I'm not talking about small issues. I'm talking about, if you wanted to decide on a technology stack, should it be Go and React? Should it be Go and Vue? If you wanted to use a cloud service, should it be Azure, or should it be Google Cloud, or whatever? one of the other things that we commonly run into is who's going to be cutting, plugin releases. So I'm going to be demoing and role playing, cutting a release and how I've cracked this nut and the result of that. So over here, I've asked Carlos to cut a demo plugin release for me, and Carlos seems, he's busy, so he's responded with, that I should go and cut it. And I've asked him nicely, go ahead, please cut it for me, and he said, nope. You're gonna have to do it, Ali. And I said, nope, you're gonna have to help me do it, Carlos. And then Carlos has come back with, there's only one way to settle this, and that's how I've cracked this mess. So what he's gonna do now is play a game of rock, paper, scissors. And you see, so he's challenged me, and whoever wins will be cutting the release. So first, I'm gonna be picking rock. Carlos is, he's a sneaky guy, so he's also gonna pick a rock. That ends up in a draw. So now he's gonna try paper. I'm gonna try paper, see if I can beat him with that. And then he tries paper again. I'm gonna try rock again to try and confuse him. He's gonna go with paper, and Carlos wins. So it looks like I'll be cutting the release for the demo plugin. So that's how I cracked the nut. That's pretty much it for me.
That's how we should make all our decisions now.
Exactly. There you go.
Yeah, it's gonna be the new decision
scissors game I've ever seen.
Oh, nice. And sweet, that's awesome. And next we have Jason.
Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, Michael and I worked on a plugin where we can highlight threads, post in the same thread. So typically you're scrolling through and you see that you've got, this is a sysadmin created the first post, and then there were 8 thread responses. And you can view it over here. What we wanted to do is introduce something that you could help figure out which threads are the same here. And we introduced in the account settings display option where you hold down Alt and hover over one of your posts, and it will highlight all threads of the same, all posts of the same thread. Actually, what it does is dim the other post. So you can see as you're going through here, you can see that this post had 8 posts, and you can actually look at your screen now in the center channel and see all posts that are related to that one thread. It works by going to account settings, display, highlight threads, and it's just a Boolean display to disable it or enable it. It also works in both standard and compact modes. So here maybe it's a little easier to see all the different ones. So again, you've got everything in the channel, and then you can choose one and see all the threads that are in the same, all the posts that are in the same thread. That's the quick demo.
When can we get that on community?
It's only in the web app. I mean, we can put a PR in and,
Nice.
and see if we get some bites and some users that want it.
Nice. Yeah, I'm sure UX will be very interested. So nice work. Next, we have Maria.
Okay, let me share my screen. Oh, wait, that's being shared. Let me try again. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
We can.
Yep.
Are you seeing the developers meeting channel?
Yep.
Okay, so so what I did is a plugin, the agenda plugin. So most of you guys already know, but whoever doesn't know, what we do is the system that we've been using for agendas in our meetings is that we've been using hashtags like this, where we say a meeting day and we queue an item, and then we click on it at the meeting time and we kind of see the list of it. Usually what happens is that, oh, I'm gonna queue something for developers meeting. Okay, what's the tag? I have to like scroll back and see where it is. I can't find it. Here it is. I probably did it wrong. So the idea of the plugin is to kind of help this process, right? So what it does is that, so I have my own developers meeting channel here, and I say, okay, agenda, queue, I'm going to talk about the agenda plugin. And what it does is that it creates a post with the tag of the next meeting of this channel, and it says who did it. And then at the time of the meeting, I can say, oh, agenda, just list, and we get it right, list. And it pops up the list of the hashtags for that next meeting, right? The good thing about it is that it's not really replacing our process. So if somebody queued on their own with the right hashtag, it'll still show up. And then let's say that I am not gonna be in that meeting because I'm gonna be out. So I just wanna queue it for next week. Next week, let's talk about hackathon again. And it queued it for next week's date. So no more remembering, oh, I need to see where is it, when is the date. I can also do agenda list next week, and it will put the next week list. So again, this is per meeting, per channel, meetings per channel. So if I go to my toolkit channel, toolkit is different because that's how we are. And we like our hashtags here a little bit different. So this one is this style. So the meeting of the hashtags are per channel. So if you go here to your header channel header, we can go here to agenda plugin settings, and you can configure what days is your meeting and what is the format that you want. So a nice side effect of this is that now plugins can add their item here in the list of the channel header per channel. So that's a new thing that plugins can now do. That's it.
Nice. Thank you, Maria.
I can stop this. Everything hides here in Zoom for me, so now I don't know how to stop the share. Oh, here it is.
Sweet.
Cool.
Awesome. And next we have Harrison.
All right, so I'm demoing what Devin and I worked on. So as you can see here is Mattermost with a terrible, awful, horrible theme. I'm gonna go to my account settings and change my theme to something more sane, and oh, we've got a lot more themes here. So I've got the regular old Mattermost, we've got Mattermost Dark, got some other people's themes that I've imported into here. And so you can save that. But now it's not just adding more system themes. We now can customize the system themes from System Console. So in here, obviously we have all the themes in there. We forgot to add a new theme button. So I'm just gonna modify one of these. But you get all the same options that you have here in the, like for editing user themes, you can change all the colors you want. That's how we've ended up with some terrible ones from me just playing with it. But yes, we can save. So I'll just quickly, which theme was that? That was Dracula. So these themes will also get pushed out to the user when they're using them. So save Dracula. If I save this to update it, we still have Dracula now, but when I refresh it, it picks up the new theme, just like the existing system one where we want to tweak and add them over time. So you can have like, combining this with some settings that we didn't have UI for yet, which I think might exist in the experimental settings. You can actually set a, you can actually set like, this is the default theme for everyone on your server. This is, and like you can lock it so they can only use it. You can use for branding purposes. Yeah, using these settings, you can change it so they can turn stuff on and off. You can delete the existing themes if you want to have your Mattermost looking just like you want on your own. So yeah, kind of plenty of options like that. Obviously it doesn't need UX pass, but has a nice preview down here so we can see everything given you're not in the system console. All these, instead of before where we had little hard-coded images, we just kind of went with some generic-ish kind of roughly what it looks like to be able to identify it. And yeah, so that's the feature. Didn't do mobile stuff because I know people are going to ask about it. It was a thought at some point, but yeah, time constraints.
Nice. And I really like the preview option that you see on the system console. So you don't have to guess like, okay, what is this going to change? You can see it all in one.
Oh yeah, that was something we definitely wanted because like when you're editing in the regular app, you can see it in the background. It's not amazing because you can't see what every little setting does because some of them are very kind of specific and it's also faded out. But yeah, but something we're hoping can integrate in more with that maybe when we do the redesign later.
Cool. Awesome. And next we have Danny.
Hi, everyone. Let me share my screen. Let's see where is it? This is the one I want to share. Okay, so my project here was to create some kind of tool to connect with Google Play and fetch all the reviews from our applications and work with them. So right now I can come here and say, I mean the thing is already running, so I say, let's add this app with the package name. And now the application will start fetching the reviews from Google Play. And I can create, for example, an alias for this application. This is not the most interesting thing, but well, we can do. Okay, sorry. Yeah, there's some. This is still a bit clunky, but well. Well, here is one of the most interesting parts. I can create a new alert to so I can receive alerts when I receive new reviews. So I create this alert, and oops. Okay, I didn't prepare this good enough. So here. And okay, and now the program will keep bringing new reviews, and when every 20 seconds it will tell me if I have a new review. Right now I am creating reviews. Yeah, see, every few seconds, like mock reviews, and the alert is bringing me the new ones. So, well, this has more potential. Things I want to do is you are able to reply the reviews from here, something like GP reply with this review ID and whatever. I don't know, something like that. Also filter the reviews by I want the reviews that are 3 stars or lower, or I want the 5-star reviews. I also want to put another thing for when a review is updated, like someone changed their review, something like that, that you receive a new comment here. Well, right now the
30 more
application
seconds.
is giving us a lot of reviews, but the idea will be to put it like maybe every hour or so on. And normally an application doesn't receive that many reviews per minute. Well, that's mostly it. I mean, and you can configure everything from Mattermost, so it will be quite easy. And right now it's implemented with webhook, so it's also quite easy to just create the outgoing webhook and everything is working. So yeah, probably in the future we will put some plugins and so on, but yeah, that's it.
Nice, that's really cool. We're already seeing the mobile development lead, Elias, mentioning to the PM that we should be using it, so great work.
Thanks.
Awesome. And next we have Saturn.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
We can.
Okay. So my demo is on how to extend the locals we have right now. The extension is through plugin. Currently, we are supporting at least 16 languages. So some of those are in alpha version. So the plugin will extend only those client languages, but not the server side. So for this one, I have this plugin, extended client locales plugin. So I will just enable this one. And then once enabled, it's not available in the server, but only available in client side. But okay, wait. First is not this one. Okay. Okay, so right now we have Norwegian and Tagalog. So in no way, I know those. I knew Tagalog but not Norwegian. So I don't know if my translation is correct or not. So I have this. Client. So this is the user one, and then the account settings. So he should be able to select the Norwegian here, and then I have this 2 and then 3, actually 3 words that were translated. So, and then if I chose Tagalog, this is my local language. So it's there. So for mobile, so that can be used. So this is login as user one as well, but not really real time. So I need to reload the app and then so that it will take effect. So this is in Tagalog. So this is like publico privado. So this can be used by the web app and the mobile. So the first demo is using the plugin built in locales, but it can use also external service. This is coming from the GitHub, but it can be coming from the other JSON API. So reason being is for maintainability. So because translation is so dynamic, so it can be maintained separately, but not the plugin can be as is, but only change the translation. So once I use the translation service, so there are 3 languages, not including the Norwegian and the Tagalog. So
20 more seconds.
So this one will have, so since Norwegian or Tagalog is no longer available, so it's here Finnish, Indonesian, or Swedish. So if I use Finnish, it will be using this Finnish. So that's it. So if this is disabled, where's it? So once this is disabled, so this will just fall back to default, which is language. So that's it.
That's very cool, actually. Yeah, well, that's clearly definitely going to help getting Mattermost in more languages. So nice work, Saturn. Sweet. And then next we have Miguel.
All right, let me see if I can share here. Okay, so I'll be demoing something on the mobile app. This is the app running on my iPhone. So example scenario here, your house is on fire, your 10 kids are crying. To make matters worse, all your fingers are broken except for your thumb. Your boss sends you a message on the app and you need to reply ASAP. So what do we do if we can't type? Well, we'll send a voice message. So let me try sending something to Elias here. Hey, Elias, check out the voice message feature. Let me know your thoughts. There you go. Let's see what he has to say. I'm supposed to be getting a reply here soon. Elias, you there? Maybe some technical difficulties. Let me try replying here.
His house is also on fire.
All right, I can just send another one here and then we'll play it back. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Let's see if I can get this to play so you guys can hear it. Can you guys hear that?
No, we can't.
Oh.
Not coming through. But I do see a reply.
Okay, looks like you did reply. So let me unplug this and then I'll play it here so you guys can hear. Hey Elias, check out the voice message feature. Let me know your thoughts. Try that again. Hey Elias, check out the voice message feature. Let me know your thoughts.
Nice.
So yeah, now you can reply when you probably shouldn't be replying and taking care of your house that's on fire. A couple of other things that I just want to demo really quickly. Movie recording. There you go. Can you guys see my screen again?
We can.
Okay. So we have decibels. So it's taking the voice in and it's animating as you're speaking. You can slide to the left to cancel. And a quick other bonus here is you can now tap on the header and you have some quick actions now to favorite, mute, look at your pinned posts, or you can go back to the default info screen there. So that is it from us.
That's awesome. Great work. And I think, Elias, you were going to go next.
No, he did the buttons.
Ah, cool. Sweet. So let's see. Next we have Dean.
All right. See if I can find the screen to share here. Share. So Andrew and Eric and myself worked on something that actually Andrew's been thinking about and we've been talking about a little bit for a while. Something that Slack released recently, which I'm sure you all have heard about, and all the people who are complaining about their new editing feature. So we thought we'd take a crack at it. This is just a POC. It's not community merge ready yet, but that will be the plan at some point. So can you see my screen? Oops.
You can.
Okay. So you'll see that we've got a new button here in the post toolbox that allows us to open up a basic editor. Actually, just to mention that the actual design part of this is a lot more complete than this is. It's just the implementation being me. Haven't quite caught up to Andrew yet, but so you can see I've got some. What I'm going to do is paste some text in just so we can make this a bit quicker. Now what I can do is I can select a word, I can bold it, select another word, I can add some italics and strike through some things. I hope this all works. Put a code block around something. I don't yet have the ability to define the code type. I could also go in and say I want to link, start a link at least, to that. And so I could change that to link, put in, and then when I'm done, post. And now we've got everything formatted. Like I said, it's just a POC at this point. A lot more still to do to it, but that's the demo.
That's really nice, actually. Great work. Amazing. And let's see who's next. We have Sudhir. Do you want to go next?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Okay. Let me share my screen. So this is something that I based off from the POC that I think Eric and Mike did a while back for multi-server support and mobile navigation. Yeah. So the changes are this, where instead of having your team bar and then LHS for channels, what you want to do is actually combine them, and that to actually decrease the friction of team switch. And you actually get a much easier view of what's happening in other teams as well this way. And yeah, that's how it works. And yeah, that's the demo though there's some performance complications that I came across with this. Let's see how it will be in production. But yeah, so far it feels simpler. And that's it.
Nice. Great work. And Elias actually posted a reminder, and I'll actually mention it as well. So anyone who joined after the introduction, if you'd like to present your hackathon, you can post in the Zoom chat, or you can raise your hand in Zoom. Please prepare for 3 minutes if you worked on one project, but if you worked on multiple with your team, then you have up to 5 minutes. Excellent. So next we have Catalin.
Me? Yeah, so can you see my screen?
We can't see it yet. Oh.
Yeah, so I'll be playing this video.
Okay.
So I've just created the plugin for CircleCI. And first you have to get the channel ID. So like you can go to the header of any channel. Then you just add that variable to the CircleCI as channel ID. And so basically in my CircleCI script, I have just written the API calls for calling the webhooks, and I've already added the webhook URL. So there's that. And so like, let's say we run a build, and we have to just re-trigger the build. And also basically, so yeah. So I just create a / command for CircleCI, and basically I have to connect with my API token that you can generate in CircleCI. So I'll just copy it. Yeah, that. And so basically when you have connected with CircleCI, then you can just check who's connected. Like right now there's limited functionality, so I'm connected, so that's me. And then you can also disconnect. So like after connecting, it basically gives you the ability to make any API calls to CircleCI from your account. So not any other features except the me command is not implemented. So yeah, you can also see that it's not connected right now, so you can't run the me command. And then the build succeeded that we re-triggered. So this is the succeeded build. And then I'll try to trigger a failed build. So then I'll run that. So yeah, I have just re-triggered a failed build. So it will fail, that we know. And yeah, it just fails. Yeah, you get the failed build. So you get all that from a Slack attachment field. Yeah, that's it. That's my demo. Yeah.
Really nice. Great work.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm sure, I don't think Carlos is on the call, but I'm sure he'd love to get his hands on it as well. Next is Catalin.
Sure. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, so it all started by me trying to understand more about the code outside of the enterprise realm. So when I saw just a message that said, hey, there are certain requests from the community, I just looked through the list and I chose one of them, which is the move a message to another channel. So I took a stab at it. So I'm right now in one of the channels in the town square. So I do a post. And then I reply to that post a couple of times. So now I have a post with a bunch of replies, and I have an option in the dropdown to move this to a different channel. So I moved to the channel and I kind of hacked the channel selection component, and I choose one of the channels. Now the post with the replies have disappeared from the original channel, and they show up in the channel that the destination channel. So obviously, if I made a mistake, then I can go back and move the parent post to a different channel, or I cannot move the children posts to a different channel. I can only move the parent one. And so this is functional except for the permission checking, which is another story. And the other thing that the Postgres query, the SQL query right now, it's non-existent, and there might be I haven't tested on the mobile, so I don't know how that works. So that's it.
Really nice. That's absolutely really nice project. Nice work. Excellent. And then just looking through what's next. One moment. We have Miguel and Jesus.
Yes, Miguel. Okay. Who is going to share the screen? You, right? Perfect. Okay. Well, our project was try to integrate Bleep, which is a search engine writing in Go, into Mattermost. What we did, what we did was abstract the concept of search engine in a different interface and a different struct. Created a search engine broker that allows us to handle which search engine is being used. Create a store layer to encapsulate all the searches. So the app layer now doesn't know if it's asking to the database or it's asking to anything else. It's just asking to the store, give me the users, search me the users, and the store is going to resolve that based on the layers, not on the way to ask from the app layer. And we implemented the search engine, a search engine interface using the Bleep library. And we add the admin configuration for enable or disable Bleep and all the features that we support. Yeah. What is Bleep? Well, go ahead, Miguel.
Okay, so besides porting the Elasticsearch search capabilities into a layer, we've created another layer with Bleep. So Bleep is a full text search and indexing library. It's purely written in Go, so it was easy to just attach to the project without adding more complex dependencies. It started as an internal project for Couchbase, and it's basically heavily inspired by Lucene. I think the takeaway that their main headline was, can we do like 50% of the text analysis that Lucene and Elasticsearch do, but writing it like purely natively. So for the demo, here we have an instance with all the sample data. Right now, both Elasticsearch and Bleep layers are enabled. So when we, for example, we post something, here in the logs, you're going to see that the index post in the search engine, first Elasticsearch and second Bleep. This is one of the capabilities of having layers abstracted. So we can run one action in all the layers, like this indexing. Then let's search. So this search is going to run in Elasticsearch, as you can see there, because it's the first search engine that we have. But in case of a failure, or if we disable this layer, and we run another search, like beauty, for example, this second one, as you can see, this is a different log. This is running directly on Bleep. So disabling one of the layers just went and throw the action to the next one. And this is actually the implementation of the search action in Bleep. This is the response that Bleep is giving to us. We can actually apply filters as well. So we can say
30 more seconds.
Okay, yeah, remove anything from the sync channel. We can use Bleep for auto completion as well. And yeah, that's basically it. Back to Jesus quickly.
Yeah, we need to add more things like data retention, push support, reindexing jobs, finalizing the Bleep implementation for post search, because we need to add some specific features, add the documentation, add some performance analysis. And more in the midterm, we would like to move all the SQL search into the search engine architecture, and migrate all Elasticsearch tests to run in all the search implementations, and allow to drop the full text index from the database if it's not needed. You are using Bleep or Elasticsearch, you don't need to maintain all the full text search indexes. And that's it.
Very nice. And I'm seeing a lot of excitement from developers on the chat too, so big thumbs up. Excellent. And then we have Hossein.
All right, let me just share my screen. All right, cool. So what have I created? I've created a Google Calendar plugin for Mattermost. So basically the idea came about, I didn't like having to switch tabs and things separately. I just want to do everything in Mattermost because I personally use the desktop app the most. So after you upload the app to your server and you give it a client secret and the tokens that it requires, you just have all users to connect. They do a calendar connect. It gives them the link. Brings you here. So I'm going to connect with my personal account. So it says this app isn't verified. That's a Google thing, but I know it's okay. So I'm going to allow it. And okay. Wait. Let's try that again. Okay, can I defer my, because I need to see what's going on.
Yeah, definitely. You can go, we can go to Hilal next. You can share later.
Hello everyone, can you see my screen?
We can.
Yeah, okay. For this hackathon, I wanted to create a plugin for file encryption. And the aim is to protect the data from the file system or the remote data storages. So the aim is not to protect the data from server admin, etc. Just we don't want our raw data to be in the databases. The progress, yeah, not completed yet. At least I managed to encrypt an uploaded text file. For this purpose, I used file will be uploaded hook that is available in the Mattermost server. In order to decrypt a downloaded file before downloading, I needed another hook like for get file or read file, etc. But there wasn't any, so I started to write a hook by myself, and it's not completed yet either. A demo screenshot here is that this file was just an ordinary text file, and it became like this after uploading it to Mattermost. That's all. Thank you for listening.
That's awesome. Great work.
Thank you.
Excellent. And we have Claude.
Yes, hello everyone. Let's see. There we go. Does everyone see my screen?
We can.
Awesome. So my project was pretty much to build out a quick access to your camera roll for adding images. Currently on our, and this is mobile specific. Currently, if you want to add image, you have to go photo library, go selection, choose what you want to add. So not too bad. The quick access was based on Elias and I talking and looking at Telegram's options. And effectively what we came up with this, and this is just a POC right now, there's much more that can be done with this, is effectively is we could literally pull all of our images in here instantly, grab them and display them and load them quickly. Again, this was just a POC. The future version of this would essentially be able to select multiples at the same time, which our current functionality does not allow right now, and also to have access to the video camera also, so you'd have a camera view. Let's see. And that's pretty much it.
Really nice. That's a really nice mobile improvement. Thank you, Claude.
Thank you, guys.
Awesome. And then let's see who's next. Assad.
Yeah, I just need like 5 minutes.
Okay. So what about Michael?
All right. Okay. So I did something pretty similar to Hussein. I made a calendar plugin based off of the Chronify API, which I'll I have a / command Chronify connect. I think this will just help get some context. So here are the calendar providers that are supported by Chronify. So let's say I want to connect my Google account. And something that I was trying out is I'm using the user's theme colors as like the portal back, like the callback thing, and using some context for going back into Mattermost. So it's like you were already here. So that was kind of cool. One command is Chronify view. So all the calendars that you hook up, it'll show you events on all of them. Like I have Google one here and an Outlook one here. Oh yeah, I actually meant to show the calendar first. But so in my Google one, I have something on Wednesday, 2 on Thursday, and here's another command. This is something that the user wouldn't normally run. This would run in a job or something, or at least this one implementation. So basically it checks the user's current availability and will change their status if they're in a meeting. So it says user is available. If I were to, oops. I should probably give it like a couple seconds, but let's try it. Okay, this webhook event came in saying that some event on my calendar changed. So user is not available, old status online, new status is do not disturb. So that's what this is now. And if I set this to a free event, then it says I'm available now. Or if I manually, this is a challenge, like when should it override manual statuses? I haven't really figured that stuff out all the way. So you can...
30 more seconds.
Okay. You can accept and decline stuff from here too. If I do accept, then it should eventually say accept. I think it'll take a few seconds, but yep, that's pretty much it.
Very nice, and very nice the UI background as well. Nice work.
Thank you.
Let's see, we have next Alan.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
We can.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen. You guys can see it, right?
We can.
So I made a plugin that is trying to help you read faster. So it's supposed to work like something like this. The words just pop up one after the other. So I put it in the post dropdown, and that's doesn't work right now, but that is the idea of what I worked on. So that's what I made.
Nice. And is that the like RSVP simulation?
Yes, that is RSVP.
Sweet. Great work, Alan. And then we have Patrick.
Okay, can you hear me?
We can.
So I'll share my screen. I worked on database optimization. My first idea was to optimize the ID columns of each table. I changed the encoding to ASCII, but the performance gain was really small, and it was only possible for my MySQL database. So then I looked on the post store and post table. I managed to optimize two functions, get posts and get post since. For get posts with the skip threads equal to false, the gain can be quite dramatic, almost a 1,000 time improvement for a big table. I tested on one with 140,000 posts in a channel. What else? The main problem is when you optimize something for MySQL, it happens that it will be slower in Postgres, and that happened with this optimization. It's about 10 to 15% slower for Postgres. I also added some benchmarks for posts in my branch, and yeah, that's all. Thanks.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Patrick. That looks really, really neat for performance optimization. And so after Patrick, we have Jesus.
Okay, wait a sec. Now, oh, give me a sec. I'm trying to. No, it's not working properly. My screen share. I don't know why it happens time to time. So skip me and I will be back.
Sure thing. And we'll get back to you, and then Hossein.
Okay, so sorry about earlier. I forgot to set up my WebSocket, so that's why I was giving you there. Anyways, so after we upload the Google Calendar plugin, we can do a Google Calendar Connect, which provides us a link. So again, I'm going to use my personal account. I'm going to continue forward. I'm going to allow it. And when it detects the connect, it's going to say completed, and you're going to get a message from Google Calendar bot, which says you've successfully connected your account to it. You can type help, which gives the list of commands available. So the first command available is list, which lists the upcoming X number of events. By default, it's set to 5. So if I press calendar list, it's going to display the upcoming 5 events. I can do calendar list 10, which will display the upcoming 10 events. But so I think I have less than 10, so it's just going to display like 9, 8, whatever there is. There's calendar summary, which gives a breakdown of a particular date. By default, it'll give a breakdown of today's date. So if I do calendar summary, I get today's date, I get today's schedule, a more thorough breakdown of what's going on. I can do calendar summary tomorrow, which gives me a breakdown of tomorrow's schedule, as you can see. And I can do calendar summary of a particular date in the format of year, month, day. So today's the 26th, say I want the 28th. I can do that. Oh, there's nothing happening. So I can do calendar summary of, I think I have something going on the 30th. So you can see now I get the summary of the 30th. We also have calendar create. So calendar create works with the title put into quotes. So I'm creating this from Mattermost. Put in a start date in the format of year, month, day. So today at a particular time in hour, minute, 24-hour format. So let's say from 1 o'clock to end time, which is, we'll put it at 2 o'clock. When I do that, I get this. I can press this. It'll take me to my calendar with the event, as you can see. Now, we also have the ability, so I'm going to, off screen right now, I'm creating an event on another account. So I'm creating this to invite you. I'm going to add myself as a guest, so you guys cannot see this. So I created an event from another account. I get it. Oh, you've been invited to. I can reply to it right here, right now. So I can say, so I've been invited to this event. Yes, I want to go to it. Event has been updated. I get a new response. So let's say this event that I just you guys saw I got invited. I've changed it. So I'm changing the time. So I've changed the time. So let me see if this works.
Quick 30-second update, 30 seconds.
Not working. All right, no worries. So then we also have 10-minute reminders. So if I create an event, so we also have an event that starts in 10 minutes. So if I do 10-minute, and I can do starting at 12:16, and ends at 12:30. So I've created an event. So now we can see it's 12:05. Once the timer hits 12:06. So right now this is the current time. We should be getting a notification. So I guess we can just wait a little bit. So it's not going to start right when it hits the 12:06 mark because of the way the job runs. So should sometime during that. So it should give me a reminder sometime. And also the last thing I wanted to show is so if I create an event that is during the time, like the current time is during that time period, it's going to set my status to do not disturb. The only problem with that is the fact that it doesn't reset it. That was a challenge I was having. So when you're set to do not disturb, after the event, you just have to manually come and reset it. So I guess the reminder and the change event are not currently working. So that kind of sucks, but yeah, you guys hopefully can believe me. I tested it, it was working, but I don't know why it's not working now. So anyways, that's
Yeah.
Oh, see, now we got the 10 minutes until this event. All right. Anyways, that's everything I got.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks for saying. I agree with Elias's comment. We should find a way to combine your and Michael's plugins and create like a super awesome calendar plugin together. So great work. And let's see, next we have Chris Poyle.
Hey everyone, let me share my screen here. Okay, so I started off the hackathon wanting to do a quick 2-day spike on the workflow user interface using React hooks, but I am a bit like the dog from Up, and I thought of something else, and so I changed. And so I decided to make a game that would help solve the constant battles between our engineers, like Ali did. So I am going to start this up, and it is a multiplayer game. The goal of this, it's a very original idea, and I hope to patent it and make a lot of money out of it. So I'm going to host it and join, and then start, and it's going to start moving around, and you can see that it is working. Now, as you can tell, the scores aren't networked because it turns out that networking is really complicated. And it took me a long while just to get this working, but as you can see, like, it's actually pretty smooth. It's using TCP at the moment. In the future, it is wired up for WebSockets. Just you can't connect directly to other person's web browser with WebSockets, so you have to go through the server, and that's what Mattermost could do. So you can set it up through, say, a channel notification, sort of like the Zoom plugin. Click Join Game, and hopefully we'll start to be able to play games like this just through a browser window. And that's my future goal. So we're going full circle. Mattermost started as a game company, and it's going to end as a game company. Thank you.
Nice touch. Great work. And we have Brad.
Yeah, let me share my screen here quickly. I can find the right window. Okay, so can you see my screen?
We can.
Okay, thanks. So I'm reviving a previous hackathon project, which I think might dovetail pretty well into possibly Jason's project and Mike's project about highlighting existing threads. So it's kind of a two-step thing. So you can see an existing thread, to be able to, oops, shoot, I have to reset this, but I forgot to turn it off. But in any case, kind of a two-step thing. One, I know we have a lot of different front-end UI suggestions on how to make threading easier to read, and some various other things that hackathon projects are introducing. So I'd like to see like us reintroduce something similar to like what Google or Gmail did a long time ago, which was like, remember what was used to be Google Labs, and you basically had like experimental features like in the UI on the front end. So you could turn on things like auto advance or preview panes, so you can do like a split screen. But not everybody wanted those features, and so you could enable per user preference to enable those. So in this case, the thing that I wanted to build was in the previous hackathon was clicking directly on a post, but when we made an experimental flag on the back end, it didn't allow per user preference to just turn it on and try it out and see what people like. So in this case, you would put it under advanced, and this, I think right now we say like pre-release, but that kind of ties us into saying for sure it's going to be released. If we say something like experimental or lab, then we could enable it here. So in this case, I turned on the direct, like click to reply. So you can see that you get a little hover cursor when you see a thread. So if someone wants to reply to this stupid conversation, you can say, all eyes, and then there's your reply, and then you don't have to continually find the reply button. So little preferences like that might be easier to like toggle for the per user, and then we can kind of figure out from that, like, you know, maybe what we want to build into the product. And this could be built as a plugin as well, but I know some of the deeper customizations on the UI on the front end are not all of them are you're able to build through plugins. So kind of a two-step submission. So that's it.
Excellent, great work, Brad. And Aaron, did you have something to share? I know you posted something on the Zoom chat.
Nope.
Good. So then we have Shoda.
Okay, let me share that screen. This one. Okay, is it sharing?
Yep.
Yeah, so I actually was doing the canary testing of the plugins. So we have now lots of plugins and we have to somehow test them. So the idea, it was Jess's idea, so we could upload different versions of the plugins to different in the HA environment. We can upload different versions of the plugin into different nodes. So basically the idea is to have a daily as a dumping ground for the plugins to test them there. Not the dumping ground, but yeah, we could test them there. So yeah, that's done, but I cannot really do the experiments because I was struggling with the HA environment. But I have another experiment done as well, so I will demo that. So it's a plugin basically which using which we can which can get a trivia questions. So it's called trivia. So yeah, and you can trivia queue is like it gets the question, it downloads the question from the internet, and it's basically something like Jeopardy, if you're a fan of that. So it's a question, I'm not sure what the answer is. Maybe if someone knows, I can put it down. If not, it will disappear in 1 minute. No? Okay, yeah, I have no idea what. No, it's not an answer. So yeah, basically what you can do is you can compete with your peers, and we can have like top scores. Now there are only 2 users here, and that's it.
Very nice. Thanks, Shoda. And let's see. So there's a couple more people who are coming next. So if there are anyone on the call who would like to share or present the hackathon, please send a message on Zoom chat. You can also click on participants and raise your hand, or then you can message me on community server. But next we have Jesus. Let's see if the screen share works this time.
Yes, let's try again. Okay. Now, yeah, okay. Another small project that I did during the hackathon was, Mattermost Love Go Bed. So what I did, I created a new Go Bed tool. It's broken, right?
Yeah, I'm not seeing blank screen.
Yeah, well, anyway, I'm going to keep going. Miguel, can you share your screen with the image that you that I'm going to paste you in the chat. Oh, yeah. I think this should work. Okay, Miguel is going to share his screen. And that's it. Well, what I did, I created a new extension to GoBed to allow to check things that are strictly related to Mattermost. This is a new GoBed tool, which you can use with the bed tool parameter of GoBed. And in this case, for example, I created two different checks. Well, 3 different checks actually. I'm changing that in the code to simplify the examples. But at the end of the day, we end up using all of them. The first one is checking for wrong usage of a structured login. If you are using mlog error, mlog warning, or whatever mlog function you want to use, but you are using FMT to format the message, it's going to fail. Well, it's going to generate a warning from GoBed. And the same thing here for the licenses. If a file have a license that it is not the exact text that we expect to have the license, it's going to fail, and it's going to show you why. This is in the first case because you have 2017 and you should have 2015. The license is in lowercase and should be in uppercase and things like that. So this way we can have consistency about the license in all the files in the server, like we had in the web app. And the other thing is, in the future, I want to keep adding this kind of checks to help in the refactor that we want to do. For example, if we want to maintain certain style or certain way to execute things, it's going to be, we can write and enable one of these checks. And the other check that I implemented that is not shown here is a check for the new app error. The new app error have a parameter which is where, and now this where is whatever, because you copy and paste and you don't change the where, and should be the name of the function, probably should be the name of the package and the function, maybe, I don't know, but it's not properly set everywhere. And with this check, you can verify that every single file in the server is properly setting the where in the new app error. In the future, we can add, for example, for a structured login, special keywords that we want to log, like, for example, package name or something like that. And well, yes, and that's it.
Awesome, great work. Thanks, Jesus. I see some excitement on the chat as well from developers. Let's see, we have Assad.
So let me know when you're able. Just a second. Like, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear and see your screen.
Okay, got it. So let me just move this out of the way. So I guess like this feature may not necessarily appeal to many because we don't have this feature in some of the competitors as well. But sometimes when I have like multiple messages popping in and I don't necessarily want to switch context, like this is something I'm thinking about, especially like in reference to some of the other communication tools like Facebook or whatever. So I have this bar at the right-hand side, which is like, if I hover over it, so you have no recent conversations. So for example, I get a DM from Aaron or something. So Aaron appears here. Similarly, I get a DM from Jason. Jason appears here as well. So I can click on Jason and I can open that conversation. I can say, just like quickly say, okay, I reply to his message, say, awesome, good to know. And I can close it. And obviously, if I want to close, remove Jason from the right-hand sidebar, I can do that too. I can remove Aaron too. And then again, it's empty. So just the idea of allowing users to interact with multiple users without switching contexts and just being there and just remaining in the same place. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. That's my demo.
Huh, that's a really neat idea, actually. Thanks, Assad.
No worries.
And Claudio, were you open to sharing about yours?
Yeah, let's see if it works, because I have the same system as Jesus. So yeah, let's give it a try. All right.
We can see your screen at least.
Okay, that's encouraging. All right, so the idea is pretty simple. So I'm kind of sick of seeing like GIFs misused in the channels, and I don't think it's the correct tool to do a screen share. They're cool, but they are like a 30 years old format, so it shouldn't be used for things like screen capture. So I made a simple plugin to record your screen and send the recording, and I'll show how it works. It's pretty simple. You click screen, you can either select your entire screen, a tab or application window. You click share, the recording starts, you can show around, do whatever, and then you click stop. You have a chance to review what you just recorded, and if it all looks good, then you can upload, and you're gonna receive and share your recording. That's it.
Wow, that's awesome. Great work. Nice. And we have at least one more who'd like to go. Alan?
Yeah. Hello. So let me just share my screen. Mine is a simple one. So Mattermost is really great for DevOps and for DevOps and developers. So I was also thinking it can be great for HR too. So for example, at my former workplace, all HR was managed through Bamboo HR. So that's where you can know new people who have joined, you can know people who have left. So I was just thinking, the HR department can also use Mattermost to manage some of the things they would normally do in Bamboo HR. Bamboo HR is like software for HR management. They can do it from Mattermost without having to leave Mattermost and probably go to Bamboo HR. We can also pull some of the data from Bamboo HR and let users on Mattermost, like employees, know maybe who has just joined and maybe who left. And yeah, that was my idea, and currently trying to code that. So I started playing with plugins this week, but hopefully I'll finish it probably next week. Yeah, that was my idea. Thank you.
Nice. Yeah, we actually use Bamboo as well, so
yeah,
I'm sure we'd love to use it too. Sweet, thanks, Alan.
You're welcome.
So at the moment, there isn't anyone else who is queued, but I'm gonna share a few hackathon submissions in our GitHub repository from those who couldn't make the call. So while I'm sharing those, if there is someone else who'd like to share, just let us know either in Zoom or on Mattermost. But I'm gonna share my screen and share some of those submissions. So let's see. So the first one here is the Bamboo one that we just saw from Alan. So we have Anindita, who's actually been working on Google Season of Docs project with us the last couple of months. So she submitted a plugin or actually like an integration, where the aim is to look at the Mattermost docs and then find and potentially review and remove words and phrases that don't promote accessibility, diversity, or inclusiveness. And in the demo that I'll show in just a moment, she's used a very short word list to give an idea of how it works. And it's using GitHub API in the app code, and there's a link to the repository. So I'm gonna switch to the demo here. So basically, basically what we have here is there's a stop word search, and it's suggesting people to review the usage of that word. So the word of just or easily. If I actually go to the bottom here, there's a word for below. And what this tool does is it recommends you not to use it as a positional indicator. And then I believe the idea is to have a recommendation of what to use instead. And it has a list of all the occurrences of that word in the docs. And yeah, as mentioned, the aim is to help promote diversity, inclusiveness throughout the docs. So great work on Indita on that. And then we have this one we saw. So we have, I think this one we have not seen from Locale. So this one is actually a submitted pull request for plugin events. And I'm wondering, I think there was at least Lev, you had taken a look at this. I'm curious if you, I don't know if you were on the call or someone else on the developer, if they were open to walking through it, or I can also read it through, but I think a developer probably has more technical understanding. Probably someone from the toolkit team or integrations team.
Yeah, I can talk with this. I took a look at it.
Great.
So what this is basically an event bus for plugins. So you can subscribe to a specific event. I think his example is a test event, or let's say, let's give an example like the GitHub plugin could send out events when new issues are created or whatever. And then other plugins could subscribe to that event and receive the data. It's definitely a work in progress, but it is definitely an interesting idea that we've talked about before on the integrations team. I'm sure Toolkit's talked about it as well.
Awesome. Thanks, Chris, and thanks, Locale, for the contribution or the submission. So I'm going to go back into the folder list. So then we also have George. He submitted a hackathon project. So this one was an experimental electron-free replacement native shell for the Mattermost web app. So he does have a screenshot of it here. So this is how it looks. He said that it's definitely like a work in progress, very much experimental. There's some known issues around functionality, so it's like a pure hackathon prototype, but I thought it's pretty cool. So there's like a starting point for a potential Electron replacement for the desktop app. And so that's good. Thank you, George. We have seen that. I think this one we have not seen yet. So this one was a submission from Harshil, and it was an air quality index plugin, or AQI. And basically, this plugin adds an AQI, or air quality index widget, in the left sidebar. So you can see there's a widget above the channel list, and there's 3 air quality indexes for 3 different locations. So one for Kurgan, another for Austin, and then for Palo Alto. And it also has kind of a cool, it has like a temperature of it as well. And then it gives an immediate indication on, okay, is it an unhealthy air quality? Is it moderate, or is it good? And basically the thinking is that air pollution is a serious health concern, and so awareness is the first step in resolving that problem. And he basically wanted to bring up AQI data through that plugin, so you can see it right away from your interface, and you can list the cities in plugin settings in System Console. And you can also allow users to subscribe cities themselves. And then in the backend, it's using Air Visual APIs and it's adding the widget through React component, just like the GitHub plugin does at the moment. So great, thank you, Arshil. Just seeing if there's any comments. Okay, and then we have, we've seen, so then we have a contribution from Zubair Ahmed. So basically, he added the ability to set custom statuses, which would be a feature for the web app. So there's a screenshot showing that a user has added a custom status saying, hey, working remotely. And there's a couple of more details here. There's thank yous for Hossein and Mattermost community. And basically, I think there was actually another screenshot on the hackathon channel that I'll switch to just for a moment. I'm gonna stop my share for a second. Just making sure there's no confidential info on the channel. Okay, sharing my screen. So going to click on one of the hashtags here. Yep, so there's a screenshot here showing an example of how you can set the status. So you can set a status saying, let's say you're in a meeting or working remotely, like in the screenshot, and then you can mark your status. So you can mark your status as do not disturb, and then set how many hours or days afterwards. Hey.
Hello.
Hey.
Yeah, hi. This is Zubair.
Oh.
Yeah. Sorry, I couldn't be on the. I'm away from my computer, but can you open the README once again?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Just okay. Here.
Yeah. Can you go to the flow in the
Definitely.
bottom? Yeah. So I have included the videos over there and the second one. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the GIF.
Excellent. Okay, got it. So let me see. So basically, yeah, you enter your status. Say you're in a meeting. You can set your status to do not disturb, and then you can set when to clear it. And then once it's saved, I can see the status being updated here with your custom status.
Yeah, and the next step.
Step 4.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so this is from the other user's point of view. So you can see, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. So you can see, yeah, you can now see the status. So you can see the status in the meeting there. Awesome. Anything else you wanted me to highlight?
No, thank you. I thought this was just a small contribution. I think not a huge one.
No, this is awesome. Great work. Thanks, Zubair.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Let's see what else we did. Did we have? So we had one contribution from Ranland or Romain. So I'm actually going to show a video he shared in the hackathon channel. Here. Just moving Zoom windows out of here. So basically, first I'm just gonna show how the feature works, and then show a quick like install / configuration of it. So basically, this is a plugin that allows you to support live chat abilities in your website. So I'm just gonna start the video. But in here, you initiate the plugin with /Matternail on, and that opens a help menu on your website that you've previously configured. And now you can, if someone responds in that live chat, it'll respond back in Mattermost with the Matternail bot user. And if someone in Mattermost then posts a message saying, yes, I know we love all, then that will get reflected back in the live chat, like on your website, which is really, really neat. And then you can work both ways. And so a sample use case that he shared is you could have like live support on the website. So if someone has any questions or is hitting any issues or errors on the website, they can get help from that pop-up menu on the website. And then that conversation gets sent back and forth between the Mattermost channel that you've connected. So I thought that was really neat. And I'm just going to show the configuration. So basically it's a plugin. So you install it, skip that part. What you need is you just need to specify the port that's used to communicate between the web component of your website and then the plugin in Mattermost. And once you've done that, you can create a channel for your live chat support. Whoops. You can create a channel for your live chat support. And then to initiate the plugin, you do /Matternail. Oh, so /Matternail help. These are all the commands that are available. And then you use /Matternail init to initiate the component. It gives you back a token, and you'll add it to your web page component. So basically, you add it to an HTML file that's creating that separate web page. Yeah, it's going to import a Matternail.js file, and then you enter the token. You enter the token here. So, and you have the URL of the website as well. So yeah, that's a pretty neat project. Thank you, Romain. Just going to check the comments. Yeah, just a lot of thumbs ups basically. So thank you, Romain. Let's see, there's at least one more from Nick Lab. So this one is a WebRTC plugin. So I'm going to go to the repository. So basically, I think there isn't a screenshot of this one, but basically it adds video call capabilities to Mattermost with WebRTC protocol. And so users can call each other, and the communication is browser to browser and serverless. And basically, once you've enabled the plugin, there's going to be a video call button in the channel header that you can use to initiate the call. And just making sure, yeah, you can go to any user direct message that's online. You can click on the video icon on the channel header. And then as long as you've given permissions to share video and audio, you can accept the call and initiate a call right in Mattermost. So that's really awesome as well. Okay, and then this one we saw. So I think one more on this list is a plugin from Pradeep. So he worked on a ServiceNow plugin. And I don't remember if he had a screenshot in here. Okay, so he didn't have a screenshot. But basically, for those who are not familiar, ServiceNow is primarily used for things like incident response management, monitoring your services. So this one is a plugin that enables you to integrate ServiceNow with Mattermost And I believe it supports things like sending notifications from ServiceNow to Mattermost, but then also take actions, some actions in Mattermost through /commands. So it's still in progress, but it was really neat to see that. I've heard a lot of asks for a ServiceNow plugin because a lot of DevOps and incident response teams in particular use ServiceNow with Mattermost. Okay, so those are all of the, I'm just gonna refresh to make sure we got everything. Okay, and then PRs. I think these are all covered. And then, yeah, so I'm gonna stop my share. Let's see if there's anyone else. Anyone else would like to share? It hasn't gone yet.
It looks like Mario wants to go.
Okay, Mario.
Okay, let me share my screen. Could I see my screen?
We can.
Okay. Well, what I've done is a very rough draft about Grafana plugin. Basically, it's an idea I take from Joran in the list, and what it does is basically if you pick right now, if you pick, for example, here in one of the panels, because the Grafana API doesn't share the panels, so I have to work on that too. But if you pick the direct link here, and you say Grafana subscribe the URL and the channel, and an amount of time for the interval, it will take a bit because the Grafana Play home is very slowly. But the idea is to share some panels in a subheader in a channel. So there is a ton of stuff to do because there is the authentication cleanup, but underneath is using the WebSocket to retrieve those panels and send to a channel. Right now is for just a user, but the idea is to hold the channel. But well, that's pretty much the idea. I hope you like it, and I want to keep working on it. Thank you.
Nice, and I already see Cloud Team excited. So great work, Maria. And we have at least one more. Michael, wanted to go?
Sure. So also this very short, very small plugin with the /command/G, you can do a Google search from Mattermost. That's it.
Nice. Yeah, that's really nice. Thank you. And there was one screen that Hossein, you wanted me to share, so I'm just sharing my screen.
Yeah, so I guess on the video it didn't show because the WebSocket was really slow after the call got hung up. This came about, so when any of these aspects change, it'll cross it out and then show the new one right beside it. So that was kind of the main thing I wanted to show, which didn't happen. So I thought afterwards I'll just show a screenshot.
Great. Yeah, I'm hoping, at least me personally, I'm hoping we can get this in your my close calendar plugins and community. So great work. Excellent. Anyone else who'd like to share? By the way, I also want to give a shout out to Elias. So he's been helping a ton in the background, making sure that everyone is in the queue. So thank you, Elias. I'm gonna give a little bit more. If anyone wants to go, let me know now. You can also post in the hackathon channel later on. Okay, I think it looks like everyone is gone. So thanks everyone. This was amazing. Honestly, this was really amazing. Like lots of really awesome projects, ideas. Yeah, just fantastic. Best hackathon so far. Make sure you submit your project on the GitHub repository. And yeah, just a huge thanks everyone. Thanks all.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.